Hey Leo, it's Amber here for Stephanie Journey Tarot. I hope that you're very well. This is your love reading for the month of December. We are looking at how your partner feels. We are looking at how you feel. There are rows dedicated to that here, although the layout is different to what I usually do. And in fact, yours is even more different because you had even more cards come out. So yeah, you're. I'm just going to be completely organic in my approach and not stick to particular spreads. Just go ahead and pull the cards. Although these were the extra cards that came out, so I think Spirit really wanted to speak to you. I think Spirit really had a message for you that was quite clear, and so it's come straight through with all these extra cards as well. So yeah, it's for you. You've got a Leo Sun, Moon, Rising. If your Leo rules your 7th house, you're an Aquarius rising, or you're a Leo, and especially if your Sun in your 7th house, then definitely this is for you. But yeah, or even if your Venus is in Leo in your 7th house, especially things like that. These all indicate that the Leo readings will be very poignant to you, especially if that's one of your placements. So for those of you with Venus in the 7th in Leo, definitely you should be watching your Leo readings for your love life. So yeah, I mean, what I can see here, Leo, is that there is you are on this sort of, it looks like you're on some sort of path to a bit of a brighter future. There is some long-term plans that you have here. I can see with the Star card here that I think you've got high hopes and you've got a long vision for something in your life. I think that there's something that you're working towards that has kind of a long-term goal. Maybe it's the case of you have a dream or an ideal that you really are not wanting to compromise on or wanting to deviate from. And the cards are telling me that you may very well be in, doing the right thing there. You're being asked here to be resilient here with the 9 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. You're being asked to keep on going, to remain positive, follow your instincts, and to not give up on this situation. No matter how things may, it looks like here maybe something has not panned out the way you wanted it to. But Spirit is saying that there are lessons to be learned here, and you have now gained a new insight that has now made your way a lot more clearer. And has actually kind of prepared you even more so to getting to what it is, getting to your goal, to get to this ideal, and set you on a journey to what it is that you really want and that you know will make you happy. Of course, you do have the 8 of Cups here as well. So I feel like you're going to be on some sort of journey to really find what it is that you deem to be true love here with the Ace of Cups and the 4 of Wands. It could very well be in Aries. We've got the Ace of Wands and the 4 of Wands here. So it could be related maybe to an Aries. I saw the Emperor card come out when I was shuffling as well. So that's just kind of a message that's kind of lingered. So yeah, maybe that's also what you have to look forward to. There is a new start. We've got 2 aces here, 3 aces in fact. The only ace we don't have is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is very much about new ideas, expanding your heart space, being able to fall in love even more deeply with another person and yourself because of this new consciousness that you have. And this consciousness, it looks like, will be gained through following your instincts. Now, what may happen is with the Tower card here in December, or for whenever you're watching the reading, because the readings, as most readers have come to realize, and I've also come to realize that the readings that you see may not always be for that particular month. Sometimes you could watch this reading for December in November and it totally applies, or you could watch this reading in January and it totally applies, or any month. But for those of you watching this now and it's resonating, it's saying that with the Tower card here, there will be some sort of, I don't want to say the word calamity, but that's the word that came to mind. but probably some sort of shocking realization. Maybe around to do with possibly sex as well. All the cards surrounding this card all deal with sexuality and complete honesty, and that often, in sex, that's the ultimate, I think, experience, I think, or the kind of what's actually happening, I think, when you have sex with someone, is that you're actually just being very, very open at that point. You're completely naked in front of them. So obviously people have sex for different reasons. You just have sex sometimes because you want to have sex, but often I think when it comes to a very loving relationship, it's a sign of vulnerability. It's a sign of completely surrendering to that person and having nothing to hide and really connecting in the most deepest way that you feel you can, So I'm seeing a lot of kind of sexual energy here. So I don't know if this has got to do with some aspect of sex, the sexual aspect of your relationship. Maybe that is going through some sort of renewal. Maybe you're having to stay quite strong through these changes. Maybe there's new ideas that you guys are kind of realizing are possible for you. It could be that as well. And it could be that, in a more positive note, this could be where your sex life kind of opens up in some way that requires you to be quite resilient and to when I say resilient, for instance, your partner could put a new idea on the table, and it could be a new idea that, you're just really maybe against with the Seven of Wands here, that you're just like, actually, do you know what, it's not for me. I don't like doing it that way. I don't want to do this or whatever. But it looks like here that if you do choose to continue and to take on board these new ideas and to allow this growth, I guess, to happen in your sex lives, that I feel that it will take you on a journey towards a deeper love connection. Definitely a more feeling of closeness here with the Four of Wands, a real kind of connection. I feel is possible on a very deep level, to the point where it will strengthen the bond, and it will take you down with the Eight of Cups here. This more structured journey towards finding love, a more mature approach to love. Like it's like it's a more structured approach. It's a very more grown-up approach to love. It's not just a case of, okay, let's see what happens. It's actually like making plans, actually looking at the relationship, seeing where the holes are, and practically putting things in place to actually grow love, to actually create love, to create more of a true love. And often in quite mature relationships that are away from fantasy and infatuation, relationships take work, and the Eight of Cups does remind you of that because this is Saturn in Pisces. This is really putting in the work when it comes to achieving the most highest octave, I guess, of love, and with that's Pisces. So yeah, I feel that that's a possibility, especially with the Ace of Cups here. I'm seeing that this growth could be quite a beautiful thing, and it will also be very grounded and very real and very much in reality, and not, it's completely moving away from fantasy, but actually true love. And this does come with this realization that you're going to have to maybe face new ideas that come in, that give you a whole new perspective on things. I feel your partner will be bringing in these ideas. I feel that your partner is also, I think, meeting you with a lot of resistance. I think that, I think you're putting up a lot of resistance maybe to these changes. But I feel your partner, again, also is quite adamant on these issues. And I mean, it could be with the Eight of Cups here that it really is a case of, I mean, I'm not really seeing a breakup here, to be honest, but it could be that it's kind of a deal breaker with the Ace of Swords here and the Five of Swords and the Eight of Cups. It does indicate that for some of you, this new idea that your partner is bringing in, whether it might be not be related to sex, it could be just related to something else. But this may be a bit of a deal breaker. It may be a bit of a situation where your partner's like, this is really what I need, and I'm not really wanting to back down from that. I'm not really wanting to have to give that up because I won't be happy otherwise with the Eight of Cups here. I'll be feeling unsatisfied. And although I'll have everything else, maybe I'll have you, I'll have, whatever we have, which does make me quite happy. I know I'm not really feeling my ultimate happiness and fulfillment. And they will know that's missing, you see. So that could, and it's going to be, it's going to really kind of change the relationship. It's going to turn the relationship maybe inside out, or again, there's this revealing. I feel like someone is actually letting you know something and actually being honest with you and saying, this is how I feel, and they're being quite vulnerable in that. For them even saying this to you and letting you know this truth, that this is who I really am, and this is really what I like, or this is really what I want to do in our relationship, or this is a new idea that I have, or even them saying, I've told you that I'm happy, but actually, you know what, I'm not happy, or not so much they're not happy, but they may not feel fulfilled. They want more. And I think for a long time, they've been maybe putting up a bit of a mask. Okay. And just kind of almost with the Nine of Wands here as well, maybe even gritting their teeth, like putting up maybe with the way things are. I mean, I want to use, forgive me for choosing the wrong words, but yeah, kind of someone who's just putting up with things and not complaining too much about it. Okay. Just to kind of keep the peace, or just to keep things. But I feel like it's got to a breaking point now where with the Five of Swords here, someone is saying, okay, I can't do this anymore. I need to think about me with the Five of Swords. It could be that this person feels quite defeated as well. Maybe it's also a case of, with these two Leo cards being down here, being major arcanas, I mean, you've come through the medium, which is great. Spirit definitely speaking to us. That's good. But yeah, it's it could be a case as well that, being a Leo naturally, especially with the Mars in Leo here as well, it's like you may be quite a dominant person, quite an outspoken person. And I think sometimes Leo, especially with the Ace of Swords here, you may not always see, you may be, because, Leos are so happy usually, or so much in their heart space, so much about following their heart, following their happiness, making sure that they're happy, and looking in the mirror to see how they look, and it could be that your partner kind of feels that maybe a lot of the focus is on you in some way, or that you tend to take a lot of the spotlight, and that what happens in the bedroom, again, going back to the bedroom, is more about what you want and about you getting the attention. Okay, so it could be as simple as that. Okay, so it might even be like some big idea this person brings in. It could be just that, you come to the awareness that your partner feels that they're just not getting enough attention from you, especially with regards to when it comes to sex. But yeah, there definitely will be a reveal that will herald a new idea that could be very exciting. And I think you're being asked as well to follow your instincts on this. I think you're also being asked with the Seven of Coins here to look at what hasn't worked in the past. Now, it is a case of coming to the honest kind of awareness of what is not working and taking the time to really look at what you need to invest in going forward to make this work. Again, this more practical energy of really kind of putting in the work, analyzing, seeing what needs to be done and doing what needs to be done. And with the two Saturn cards here, it's not really about following your heart, you know, as much as we are always advised to do so. Saturn reminds us that sometimes we need to not really put that aside, but just for a moment, put it aside and look at what needs to be done right now. Look at what work needs to be put in that might not be naturally where your heart would take you, which would be towards your own comfort and happiness. That you may need to realize that your own comfort and happiness may also lie in the happiness and comfort, you know, for somebody else. And that actually brings you your happiness. So there's a lot of kind of awareness here. You're really seeing things from a different perspective here. This situation is opening up your eyes. But I feel that with the Ace of Cups here, that gives me a lot of hope, especially the Star card here as well. There could be some sort of wish coming true. It could be that, again, this is very much, I mean, even though it's an Aquarius card, it does strike me as that having that ideal, that high ideal, which is related to this Pisces energy, this kind of higher level of love, real love, mature love, the kind of love that takes work, the serious type of love, you know. That's maybe, I feel what's really going on here, that the Star card here may be saying, okay, look, this is going to be about the long-term vision. It's not just about what makes you happy right now, okay, with these two Leo energy cards here. It's not just about what's going to make you happy, what's going to fulfill your heart right now. Like, for instance, what's going to fulfill my heart right now is eating a big cheeseburger with a really high carb dessert and a milkshake, and you know, then watching a movie and just picking, you know, being a couch potato. That is going to make me very happy. That will put me in probably the best mood ever. But long term, that's probably going to make me unhappy because I would have gained more inches around my waist and I may not have as much energy later on in the day, etc. Or I might feel like I've done anything. So it's that kind of thing. It's about delaying pleasure, I feel, to an extent. With the Eight of Cups, it's always going to be a bit of delaying pleasure. But the beautiful thing is that it is dignified, or it's like it's surrounded by the Ace of Cups and the Four of Wands, which lets me know that there's a very happy ending to this situation of real, honest love and a new beginning, a refreshment of your love situation. The Prince of Discs as well tells me that, again, this is about thinking long term, putting in the work now to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor in the future. And it is about taking your time, and it is about delaying pleasure again. Taurus has come through fairly strongly as well. So it could be a Taurus you're dealing with, could be a Pisces. You've got Aries here, Leo. Aries has come through pretty strong. Sagittarius, a little bit. Aquarius has come through quite strongly as well. So it could be like Aquarius, Taurians, Pisceans that you're dealing with, or maybe another Leo sign, maybe. But yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. I've probably got a lot more to say, but let's not go on forever. But yeah, your partner's going to be revealing some sort of truth to you that really is going to bring a massive change to the relationship, but ultimately will set it on kind of a new journey towards a more deeper, satisfying love where you will feel even more closer to each other because of the sheer honesty that you're able to have with each other. So yeah, it's just about hanging on in there. I think for you as well, you're being advised here to I don't know, like not to kind of give up in some way, like not to give up on this. There is this long-term view here for you. So I'm not going to be doing extenders this month. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to just go ahead and just do this here. Okay, so we've got Yang again, Aries. So are you seeing an Aries, or is it that it could be a Sagittarius that you're seeing as well? Yeah, but this is about new ideas. It's about new ideas. It's about new beginnings. I see here reaching for the stars here as well with all these stars here. Taking initiative, taking action, being brave, being vulnerable, being the first person to do something, putting yourself out there, being brave. And then we do have new life as well. So there is this newness that's coming in for you with regards to this reading, for this period. And you are being asked here to chop wood. So yeah, again, there is this element of patience that you're going to have to kind of exercise here. Chopping wood, doing the housework. You know, it's like doing what you need to do, the little bits that you need to do in life, the more mundane things, or the maybe not so exciting things to put you on path to that greater happiness. We've got milk and honey here, which is very, very fitting because it is saying that it's almost like the Ace of Cups to me, really, this card. It is that very warm feeling within your heart, within who you are, within your being, that real joy. You know, that is the Star card as well. You know, that long-term satisfaction that you'll be gaining of that real feeling of nourishment. Okay, really nourishing the soul, nourishing the heart, nourishing the body, nourishing the mind. All these things need to be taken into account this month, I think, with regards to your relationships. This real nourishment. The Seven of Coins again is reminding me, with it being underneath here, that someone feels unnourished, maybe doesn't have the attention, or again, they may have needs that they haven't spoke about before that they're going to be speaking to you about during this period. And it's going to require you to kind of look at the details together and to figure out a way forward. So I'm going to read the Yang card. Actually, not going to read chop wood. Sorry. So it says being grounded in everyday experience and humility. So it says for the relationship message, it reads, nothing is as important right now as just doing what you need to do day to day. Let your heart remember that not everything has to be hard won, passionate, or obviously meaningful. Relationships and friendships go through lulls when the everyday tasks are at the center of awareness. That is perfect now. Hold hands, wash dishes, make a fire, read a book, share a meal, say nothing, stare into space, pick up socks, tell a dumb joke, and leave space to breathe. The work of your relationship right now is very simple, just to be present. Funny how it takes work to just be. All is well, really. Okay, so yeah, it's just, I guess, saying keep it simple. It's focusing on the everyday things, maybe not on the the more grander goals, I guess, you have for the relationship, but just focusing on each other and day-to-day things. So it could be a case your partner feels like they don't have that attention on a day-to-day basis, or maybe you feel that way. But there is a new life here where this nourishment will come in. So it says here in the oracle message, there are times when a big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention. Sorry, my battery is low. Just turn this on. I'll be quick. So it says, there are times when a big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear the energy to receive your aha moments, which bring you ever closer to what you seek. Wow. So yeah, it really is about paying attention to the details, and I think giving your attention to the more mundane things in your relationship in order to bring about your ultimate goal for the relationship. So yeah, it's a beautiful reading. Thank you so much for being here. Take good care. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.